I'm Ken Meter with Crossroads Resource Center in Minneapolis. We've been in business since 1972 and work quite a bit with community-based groups and their allies to try to promote better local development, especially in rural communities, inner city communities, and really wherever people are trying to get a little bit more grasp over the workings of their own lives. I've been focusing quite a bit on food issues since 1978. Comes from working with farmers, doing quite a bit of thinking about how we'd have a stronger farm economy, how we'd have better food for people. We've come to a place where many rural communities I study, and I've looked at 51 rural regions around the country, not all rural, urban and rural regions, have found in many places farmers are producing very high value, very productive farms, producing very high value crops, but at a loss, paying more to produce them than they get from the market, often shipping hundreds of millions of dollars out of a county each year because they're buying inputs from far away that are not sourced locally, while their neighbors are buying food from thousands of miles away. And it's really quite extraordinary to kind of spell out that story with numbers in a very close way to say, here's how much this region's losing because food is coming from far away and the food we're producing is being shipped a long ways away. Most places where I work look at that data and say, this really does need to be reconfigured in some pretty important manner. A lot of what I do would be supporting a local food coalition or a local food network. I would try to bring some farmers and producers and business people and experts together to say, how do we fashion something that really feeds us well? How to really bring the kind of potential for our region to be strong, rooted in the foods we eat that belong in our place, really connected to each other around food, having cultural celebrations that allow us to eat together in ways that really celebrate the place where we live, allowing us to have a lot of dependence on food that we can produce for ourselves instead of buying it from somewhere else, building more wealth locally, having healthier lives because we're eating better food. I think for me the answer that I keep coming up against is that we need to really form clusters of food businesses that will really be true to a place where you're actually having farmers sharing risk with the people who buy food from them, the people who truck that food, the people who distribute that food, the institutions that buy that food, the consumers that buy that food, sharing some sense of we belong in this together, we want to trade with each other, we want to share skills, connections around the foods we eat, around the ways we move through our seasons each year, and to build cycles of money that allow that money to be earned in the community and then stay there, cycling from one firm to the next and into many, many workers' hands to be spent in local businesses. I think that's how we create sort of a sense of stability in local business, a way that we can have a lasting sense of place where we live, a sense that we're more in command of our own affairs and really able to make choices that we have about how we eat, where we buy that from, how we trade with that food, and how we get involved with the farmers we have.